In Ajani-Oma, everyone talked about one thing: Henry's yogurt. Creamy, sweet, irresistible. People said one sip could brighten your whole day. They lined up every morning, desperate for another taste. No one questioned how a boy who once struggled to survive suddenly created the most addictive yogurts the village had ever known. But behind that perfect sweetness, something dark was quietly growing. The yogurts that everyone loved would soon open the door to a horror no one saw coming. Henry was 10 when his world ended. His parents died the same week. An accident on the road. One day, he had a home. The next day, he had a bag of clothes and an uncle who only took him in because the family pressured him. His uncle's house was never home. Henry did the chores, followed instructions, kept quiet. He learned early that in that compound, he was just extra mouth to feed. The only soft thing in that house was his aunt's small yogurt business. She made it in the backyard and sold it in front of the compound. She didn't pamper Henry, but she let him watch, then help. Bit by bit, he learned how to heat the milk, how to mix the starter, how to wait for it to set, how to chill it and flavor it so people wanted more. By 16, he could make yogurt on his own. It was the only skill that felt truly his. When Henry turned 18, his uncle called him aside. "You are a man now," the man said. "This house has done enough for you. Go and hustle for yourself." No argument, no support, just that. Henry packed his few clothes and left. He moved to another village where nobody knew his story. Life there was not kind either. He took whatever work he could find, working on farms under the hot sun, carrying heavy loads in the market, driving someone's Okada on agreement, returning most of the money to the owner. He was paying rent for a small roof room. He was feeding himself, but that was all. No progress, no savings, no change, just survival. He got tired of counting every coin, tired of being at the bottom, tired of looking around and seeing people his age doing better. He remembered the yogurt. If his aunt could make money from it, why couldn't he? Henry saved small, cut his food to put money aside. When he had enough, he went to the market, bought milk, sugar, flavorings, a few plastic cups, and a very small cooler with ice. He rented a tiny wooden store in the corner of the market and started his yogurt business. Day 1, a few people bought out of curiosity. Day 2, fewer came back. Day 3, he was already begging people to just taste it. Some liked it, but it didn't change his life. After weeks, the reality was clear. Farm work plus Okada money plus yogurts, still poor. Bills, constant. Respect, zero. He watched other people in the market, some with strong charms that seemed to pull customers, some with mysterious connections, some who rose too fast for it to be normal. Henry's mind started to turn. Is it ordinary hustle that will take me anywhere? He asked himself. Or do I need to do what others are doing in secret? The anger, the hunger, the frustration all joined together inside him. That was the day he decided. If ordinary work wouldn't give him the life he wanted, then he would cross the line, whatever it cost. 1 month passed, and Henry's store was still a struggle. Every day felt the same. Long hours, little profits, and a bitter truth. Hard work alone wasn't lifting him out of poverty. One night, exhausted and frustrated, he returned to his small room, lay on his bed, and slept like a stone. Around midnight, a voice cut through the silence. "Henry!" He didn't move at first. He thought it was part of a dream. Then the voice came again, stronger, closer. "Henry!" He shut up, heart racing. A cold wind swept through the room. His lamp flickered. Then he saw her, a woman, but not a woman. Tall, breathtakingly beautiful, with long black hair that floated as if underwater. Her eyes glowed white, and on her forehead was a painted serpent, coiled and alive. Henry froze. "You are a hard-working man," she said, voice echoing like many voices speaking together. "I have come to help you." Henry's mouth went dry. Who are you?" What do you want from me? She stepped closer. My name is Omalicha, the Serpent goddess. I have walked this earth for more than 3 centuries. I know hunger, I know ambition, and I have seen yours. Her eyes narrowed. I can give you everything you desire. Henry swallowed hard. Everything? You can help me? Yes, she said. Wealth, power, respect. A business people will fight to patronize. You will rise so fast that even your enemies will bow. He stared, confused but tempted. What must I do? Omalicha smiled slowly, like someone who had been waiting for this question. When you prepare your yogurt, she said, you must take out a small quantity of your semen and add it to the yogurt. A mark of your life force, a drop of your essence, something that ties the product to your spirit. Henry frowned. And after that? After that, your yogurt will call people to you, she said. Especially young women. Your beauty will sharpen, your charm will increase, and they will come willingly. Henry felt a chill. And the girls? He asked cautiously. Their presence is the part of exchange, she said. Lure those girls to your house only at night. You must kill them and add their blood to your yogurt when making them, and say the things I say to you. Then your yogurt will be normal again. No one will ever suspect. My revenge has waited too long. Henry thought about it hard. He was really struggling. Then he accepted. I'm ready. Omalicha lifted her hand. A small clay bowl appeared, filled with shimmering dark water. Drink, she commanded. Once you do, our bond is sealed. You will not fail, and you will not be ordinary again. Henry looked at the bowl, looked at his small room, looked at his life, the life of struggle, disrespect, empty pockets, empty future. His fingers shook as he took the bowl. He drank. The liquid was cold, burning, heavy. A force rushed through his chest, his head, his whole body. Omalicha watched him with patient eyes. It is done, she said softly. The room shook. The lamp went out. Darkness swallowed everything. When light returned, she was gone. Henry sat on the edge of his bed, trembling, wide awake. He knew sleep wouldn't come again. Nothing in his life would ever be the same. Henry woke up the next morning feeling strangely refreshed, as if someone had forced strength into his bones. He washed quickly, packed all the bottled yogurts from his small freezer, placed them in his cooler, and carried them to his store. He arranged everything neatly on the table, not expecting anything different from the usual slow day. But before he even settled properly, the first customer walked up. Then another. Then 2 more. People who normally walked past his store without looking suddenly paused, drawn in by an invisible pull. When they tasted his yogurt, their eyes widened. It tastes like heaven. Henry, this thing is sweet past anything I've tasted before. Give me 2 more. Word spread. Within minutes, people trooped towards his store like bees to honey. By noon, he was sold out. It continued like that for days, then weeks, then months. Henry expanded his store into a proper shop. He moved from his small rough room into a beautiful apartment. People respected him. Men envied him. Women admired him. And the girls adored him. Some flirted boldly. Some came to his shop just to see him. Some found excuses to sit close to him, to ask silly questions, to touch his hand. Henry became a young celebrity in the village. Handsome, rich, charming, the perfect prey for admiration. He took his time choosing. When he decided on a girl, he invited her to his apartment, but only at night. They came willingly, excited, even flattered. Henry was the village's golden boy. No one suspected anything. Inside the house, he offered them a cup of special yogurt. They drank it happily. But once the goddess's charm activated, their strength faded, their eyes dimmed, and they collapsed into stillness. Henry never hesitated. He carried each one to his inner chamber, a room prepared exactly the way Omalicha instructed him. There he performed the rituals she taught him and killed them, then take their blood and added it to the yogurt he's making for the next day. Then he will collect the semen he has stored in the freezer and add some of it to the yogurt. After the incantation, The yogurt returned to a perfectly normal state, fresh, creamy, innocent, irresistible. He bottled it and stored them in his freezer and prepared it for the morning sales. Then, under the cover of darkness, he carried each body to the shallow grave behind his house. He dug the earth quickly and buried them without guilt. By sunrise, Henry was back in his shop with a calm smile. He sold out every single day. No one suspected a thing. They were too busy enjoying his magic sweet yogurt, praising his hard work, admiring his looks, and celebrating his God-given success. Henry stayed home sometimes, counting Crib's bundles of cash, laughing softly to himself. "So this is what it means to be rich," he said. "So this is what it means to have money." He loved the life. He loved the power. And Omalicha, the serpent goddess, was pleased, very pleased. Girls continued to go missing. Families cried. Villagers asked questions, but no one had answers. Why would they suspect Henry? He was their pride, their shining star, their millionaire boy. And every night, as Henry prepared the next batch of yogurt, the serpent goddess watched from the shadows, smiling, waiting, collecting the soul she had been denied for centuries. Long before Henry ever came to Ajani-Oma, the village had only one protector, Omalicha, the serpent goddess. She was not just a spirit, she was their protector, their pride, their source of life. Ajani-Oma was a small village surrounded by deep forests and wide farmlands. Their yam farms flourished, their cassava fields spread wide and healthy, their maize, vegetables and plantain never failed. Palm trees dripped with oil-rich fruits, season after season. Their barns were full. There were no famine, no empty kitchens, no children crying from hunger. The villagers knew this was not ordinary. They believed it was Omalicha who blessed them, so they worshipped her with fear and respect. At the end of every big harvest, the entire village gathered at her shrine. Men, women, elders, youths, all of them came together to thank her. They brought cows, goats, and other animals, and as a sign of deep gratitude and loyalty, on some rare special occasions, they even offered human sacrifices to her. In return, Omalicha continued to bless them. Their crops grew strong, their soil stayed rich, their trading prospered, their name spread as a village of wealth. For over 100 years, Ajani-Oma was the richest village in the region. Travelers spoke of their harvest, other villagers envied them. Chiefs from distant land visited for advice. Then, Christianity came. A group of missionaries came with Bibles, crosses, and songs of salvation. They preached about a new God, a God stronger than idols, stronger than spirits, stronger than any goddess. At first, the people resisted, but slowly, things changed. The pastors performed healings. Children who were sick recovered. Women who were barren got pregnant. The villagers began to listen. Little by little, they turned away from Omalicha. The shrine was neglected. The festival stopped. The sacrifices ended. The praises faded away. The same mouths that once cried, "Thank you, Omalicha," now shouted, "Hallelujah," and praised God. The serpent goddess watched everything. Her anger grew. She had given them wealth, bountiful harvest, and protection, and now they had abandoned her like she was nothing. One night, filled with rage, she rose in her full form to destroy Ajani-Oma, a woman of great beauty, with serpents coiling around her, eyes glowing like burning moons. She moved with the power of the forest and the serpent realm combined, but when she struck, she met a force greater than hers. The prayers of the pastors and the faith of the new believers stood like a wall. The power of God pushed her back. She could not wipe out the village. Defeated, furious and humiliated, Omalicha retreated into the deep darkness of the forest. She was not dead. She was not gone. She was waiting. For hundreds of years, she stayed hidden. She watched Ajani-Oma live without her. No sacrifices, no shrines, no fear of her name. Her hatred turned into a cold, patient revenge. She swore, "One day, the children of Ajani-Oma will pay for what their fathers did. I will collect their daughters. I will stain their land with the blood they refused to give. Then they will remember Omalicha. No one crosses Omalicha and goes scot-free. But she could not strike openly, not while the villagers still held on to the fate of the pastors. So she waited for a vessel, someone desperate, hungry, broken, open to anything. And then Henry arrived, poor, alone, frustrated, desperate to escape poverty. His pain called to her. His hunger for money drew her in. He became the perfect tool. His frustration opened a door she had been waiting centuries to enter. So when he lay on his bed that night, tired and broken, she came to him, not just to bless him, but to use him for her revenge on Ajani-Oma. 8 months passed. 8 months of fear. 8 months of unanswered questions. 8 months of daughters disappearing without a trace. At first, the villagers tried to stay calm, but when the numbers began to grow, calmness died. 2 missing girls became 5. 5 became 12. 12 became 20. Now, after 8 months, 40 girls from Ajani-Oma had vanished. 40. No bodies, no signs, no footprints, nothing. The search parties combed the bushes, farms and footpaths. Hunters entered the forest. Women prayed. Elders fasted. Still, nothing. Meanwhile, Henry's life was blooming like a forbidden miracle. His yogurt business was exploding. His shop was always filled. He dressed in fine clothes. He counted Crips' money every night. He walked through the village like a king. The same villagers grieving over their missing daughter still greeted him respectfully, still admired him, still praised his success. Henry felt no guilt, no regrets, no fear. Every day, he sold out his yogurts. Every night, he served the Serpent goddess. Every morning, he woke richer. Ajani-Oma was drowning in sorrow, and he was floating on wealth. But the village had reached its limits. Mothers sat outside their houses crying. Fathers walked around restless, unable to sleep. Young girls were kept indoors. No one allowed their daughters out after sunset. Something was happening in Ajani-Oma. Something dark, something evil, and everyone felt it. So the villagers made a decision. They went to the church. It was a Sunday evening when half the village gathered in the small white church at the center of Ajani-Oma. The atmosphere was heavy. Fear hung in the air like smoke. The pastor, Pastor Chukwudi, stood at the altar watching the crowd. He had noticed the tension for months, but this was the first time they all came together. The village chief stepped forward. "Pastor," he said, voice trembling, "our daughters are missing. 40 girls in 8 months. We have searched everywhere. We have prayed. We have fasted. Nothing is working. We need help." A murmur filled the church. Fear, sorrow, anger. The pastor inhaled deeply. "I know," he said. "I've been praying since the first girl disappeared. And last night, God revealed something to me." The church went silent. You could hear breath. You could feel hearts beating. The pastor's voice lowered. "Ajani-Oma is under a spiritual attack." People started whispering. He continued. "There is a presence in this village. An old one, a serpent spirit. One that once ruled here, long before this church existed." The villagers shivered. Some covered their mouths. A woman fainted. Pastor Chukwudi lifted his Bible. "This spirit wants revenge. She is collecting the souls of her daughters, and she is using someone in this village as a vessel." A wave of panic rolled through the church. "Who is this person?" Someone shouted. "We must find them," another cried. But the pastor shook his head. "No, the person is hidden, protected. Their identity has not yet been revealed. The spirit is covering them." Fear deepened in the room. "But," he said, raising his hand, "there is hope." The church leaned in. "We must pray. We must fast. We must call on the power that once defeated her. We must break her connection and the person she is using." A woman cried out, "Pastor, what should we do now? Our daughters are dying." Pastor Chukwudi stepped down from the altar and spoke firmly. "Starting tonight, the entire village must gather here. For 7 nights, we will pray without stopping. We will ask God to expose the vessel of the goddess. We will demand the serpent to release our children. We will break the covenant she made." The village chief nodded. "We will do it." The pastor closed his eyes and whispered, The darkness in Ajani-Oma will not last forever, but we must stand together. We must prepare, because when the goddess is exposed, she will fight. A cold wind swept through the church. Many felt it. A warning, a signal. The battle for Ajani-Oma had begun. For 7 nights, the entire village gathered in the small white church. They prayed, they cried, they begged God to reveal the darkness consuming their daughters. The prayers were loud enough to shake the spiritual realm. And far away, deep in the forest where she hid, Omalicha, the serpent goddess, felt it. The prayers were cutting into her plans. They were weakening her grip. They were exposing the doorway. They were exposing the doorway she used to destroy Ajani-Oma. She hissed in anger. These mortals dare challenge me again? She had spent centuries waiting to take revenge. She would not let them escape her a second time. She stretched her powers towards the church. She attacked the pastor spiritually, but the pastor stood firm, surrounded by light, protected by the power of God. Her attack bounced off him like wind against a mountain. Omalicha growled. If she couldn't break the pastor directly, she would weaken the villagers instead. She appeared to Henry that same night, her eyes burning with rage. Henry, she said sharply, their prayers are disrupting everything. I must silence them, and I'll use your gods to do it. Henry knelt before her. What must I do? She handed him a small clay ball filled with a dark powder that smelled like burnt earth and ancient smoke. Add this to the next batch of yogurts, she commanded. It will weaken their bodies, drain their strength, and slow their prayers. Slowly, one by one, they will die, and no one will suspect a thing. And when my revenge is complete, I'll make you richer than you ever dreamed. You will leave this village. You'll start a new life. Your wealth will follow you forever. Henry's eyes widened with greed. A new life, a wife, children, luxury, freedom. He agreed instantly. That night, he mixed the substance into his yogurt and performed the incantation she taught him. The yogurt looked normal, smelled normal, tastes perfect. It was poison disguised by the power of darkness. But while Henry walked in the shadows, the pastor was dreaming. In the dream, God revealed everything. Henry's pact, the goddess's plan, the powder in the yogurts, the shallow graves behind Henry's house. The pastor woke up gasping, sweating, trembling. There was no time to waste. Early the next morning, before the sun had fully risen, the pastor marched straight to Henry's store. People were already gathering, waiting for their morning yogurts, unaware that death sat inside the coolers. Henry, stop, the pastor shouted. The villagers turned in confusion. Henry stepped out with a calm smile. Pastor, what is the meaning of this? You will not sell these yogurts today, the pastor said, breathing heavily, nor any day after. Henry forced a laugh. Pastor, please don't embarrass yourself. I'm just trying to make a living. But the pastor raised his Bible. You are not making a living. You are making sacrifices. The villagers gasped. Henry's smile broke. The pastor pointed at him. 40 young girls gone because of you, used by you, buried by you, because you allowed the serpent goddess to use you as her tool. Voices exploded everywhere. What? Henry? Is that possible? Henry acted shocked. You are accusing me, pastor. How can you lie like... Enough! The pastor thundered. Let the truth speak for itself. Follow me. The villagers followed him like a flood, angry, scared, confused. They reached the back of Henry's house. Dig, the pastor commanded. The young men grabbed hoes and shovels. Within minutes, they hit something. A clothes, hair, bones, skulls. Then more bones. 40 shallow graves. 40 missing daughters. 40 young lives stolen. The mothers screamed. The fathers cried. Some men picked up stones ready to kill Henry instantly. But the pastor raised his hand. No, he said. Henry is not the root. The serpent goddess used him as her vessel. If we kill him, her spirit remains. We must destroy her. The pastor gathered prayer warriors and strong men, and together they marched to the old shrine of Omalicha. Darkness surrounded the place. Trees burnt unnaturally. The air smelled of death. The pastor poured holy water at the entrance. The ground shook. "Come out," he shouted. The shrine door burst open. Omalicha appeared, tall, furious, beautiful, deadly. "How dare you," she hissed, voice echoing like thunder. "How dare you touch my sacred ground?" The pastor faced her fearlessly. "You have no power here, not anymore." She raised her hands. A blast of dark energy swept across the shrine. The villagers fell to the ground screaming, but the pastor stood tall, unmoved, surrounded by a blinding light. He lifted his Bible. "In the name of Jesus Christ," Omalicha screamed. Her beauty twisted. Her form shook violently. "Stop! You cannot destroy me!" she shrieked. "There is no power above God," the pastor declared. He prayed louder, faster, stronger. The shrine walls cracked. Fire erupted. Serpents vanished into smoke. The goddess's body began to dissolve. Her final scream tore through the forest. "Ajani-Oma will pay for this!" With one final blast of holy fire, Omalicha vanished into thin air, destroyed forever. Silence fell. The pastor helped the villagers up. Together they burned the shrine to the ground. Wood, idols, carvings, everything. They stood around the flames and praised God. Henry was weak, shaking, crying. The darkness had left him. He fell to the ground shaking. The spell on him broke immediately. He began to cry. "I'm sorry," he choked. "I only wanted money. I only wanted a better life. I didn't know she would use me like this." Some villagers tried to vomit as he confessed what he added to the yogurt, how he added his semen to his yogurt and killed the girls and the incantations. The villagers were disgusted. Some spat on the ground. Some walked away in tears. Henry knew he could no longer stay. He packed a small bag, walked out of Ajani-Oma, and disappeared. He was never seen or heard from again. The youth went to his shop and destroyed it completely, breaking the tables, scattering every yogurt cup on the ground. The village slowly healed, but they never forgot. The lesson this story teaches is that greed can destroy your destiny. Henry wanted success so badly that he opened the door for darkness to control him. Some shortcuts lead straight to destruction. Spiritual forces are real. Light and darkness exist, and the side you choose determines your life. The power of God is greater than any darkness. Dear besties, thank you for watching. I truly appreciate you for staying with me through this story. Your support means everything. Please don't forget to like, share and drop your comments. I want to hear what you think about this episode. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss any new stories. More exciting, thrilling and captivating episodes are on the way. Thank you once again, besties. See you in the next one. Bye.